Hello, thought it might be fun to do a little experiment here for those considering taking in wood chip piles. You may have just gotten your first wood chip pile, or you're thinking about it and you're wondering what tools you need to spread this around. So if you're like me and you can't afford a tractor with a front end loader, you're probably going to be best off using a wheelbarrow. This wheelbarrow holds 6 cubic feet. This is a Jackson brand, which is supposed to be a pretty good one. And I've got a never flat tire. So that means I can run this over cactus and thorns and such, and I don't have to worry about that tire going flat on me. Very important where I live. I've got a variety of hand tools here. I've got a flat front shovel, a pointed shovel, just a standard shovel, a scoop shovel, a 4-tine fork, a 5-tine fork, and a 10-tine fork. I'm going to do a little test here to see how long it takes me to fill that wheelbarrow with each one of these different tools. I think I already know the answer to this just because I've moved quite a few wood chips, but I'm going to let you see the results. Let's start with the flat shovel. Let me show you just what it looks like going into these wood chips. So it wasn't too bad. I figured that flat front would meet resistance here, but it went in just fine. So let's see how long it takes me to fill the wheelbarrow up. Alright, that one's done. Got me out of breath. I did feel some resistance on that flat side of that shovel. Next, I'm going to use the pointed shovel. A little bit of resistance. Alright, let's see how long it takes me to fill this wheelbarrow up with it. Alright, that one felt a lot easier than the previous shovel. Next up is the scoop. Let's see how this does. Oh yeah, a lot of resistance on that, but holds a lot of wood chips in it. Pretty heavy too. Can't do it one-handed. Alright, let's see how long it takes me on this one. Alright, that one didn't take very long, but it wore me out driving that wide shovel into the wood chips and lifting it up. But it was a lot quicker, felt like. Next up is the 4-tine pitchfork. The advantage of forks over shovels is you can come in sideways and it doesn't get much resistance versus that shovel edge where it meets a lot more resistance. Whew, that one got me tired. A lot of the wood chips, the finer materials fell out between those tines, so I was really picking up the materials more times than I needed to. So that one was a fail. Next up is the 5-tine fork. I think it's called a manure fork. Alright, that one was pretty tiring as well. A lot of the finer wood chips fell between the tines. The longer handle on that particular pitchfork made it a bit easier than that shorter handle. Last up is the 10-tine fork. I think this one's called a compost fork. That one was really easy. I didn't lose a lot of fine materials through the tines. The tines were close enough to each other to where it just all kind of stayed on the fork, so that one was really good. I'll have to go back and look at the footage to see the times on these, but I sorted these out like my favorite to least favorite. So my favorite was the 10-tine fork. It made quick work of the wood chips and didn't provide a lot of resistance, and it's really good when you run into those kind of viney twigs in the wood chip piles. I don't think the shovels would do very good with those. Next up, the big scooper. That filled it up really quickly, though it made me tired because it was so heavy. Then the regular shovel with the point. That long handle really helps. Then the flat front shovel. It didn't do as bad as I thought it would. And the last two was the 5-tine fork and the 4-tine fork. Just lost too many wood chips in between those tines. So that looks like it's about a couple of inches between each tine there. Maybe an inch and a half there versus about an inch between these tines. So I think that's the winner there. A couple of other things you may need is a pair of gloves. Otherwise you may be getting a blister on your hand from moving the wheelbarrow and moving the shovels around. Also, you might need a mask to keep from breathing in those fine particles that float in the air when you're moving these chips. I've learned to just kind of stand upwind of the chips so that I'm not breathing those in. But if it's like a still day where there's no wind, or something like that where you can't stand upwind, I definitely recommend the mask. Otherwise, it could cause some respiratory issues. Another thing to point out here is be sure you're wearing good shoes. I just got these sloggers thinking these were going to be awesome garden shoes, and all they do is collect wood chips. These don't stay tight enough around my ankles to keep the wood chips out, so I might as well be walking on the wood chips barefooted. After you dump your wood chips out, you're going to be left with a pile of chips, so it'd be a good idea to have a rake to spread those out. This is just a regular garden rake, but I've seen some people use a wider rake. I just don't have one to try that out, but this one works fine for me. One final thing I wanted to point out was you can use this wheelbarrow and lay it on its side like that against the wood chip pile, and then grab whatever your tool is. This pile's kind of an avalanche there. Of course, this is better two-handed, but you get the idea. That will fill up the wheelbarrow rather quickly versus you having to shove all of that into there. And once you get it to the point where it's kind of full, then you can easily pull back on the wheelbarrow to stand it back up. So I hope that helps. Thanks for watching.